Hi, welcome to Pro Football Mock Draft.
Yeah, much more serious version of us because we are two sport fans, but still,
So
probably less serious than most people still.
we're going to predict the mock draft, which everyone does, right? They're fun, and we're going to tell you who we think they're taking. They're going to tell you who we think they should take. We'll tell you if we think there might be a trade, but we're not going to discuss what a trade would actually look like here.
Yeah, because we're not going down that because we know the trades could be all over the place, and
Right.
it just throws everything off.
So I think the first pick. I think Carolina at one. I think they traded up. Obviously, they traded all that for
A quarterback. Yeah, it's got to be a quarterback, and
So it's between Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud.
it's got to be Bryce Young.
I think it's Bryce Young. I don't think you trade all that for C.J.
Yeah,
Stroud.
I think they want the name recognition that comes with the pick, and not just the talent.
Not only that, when Tua's healthy, he's pretty good. So I think if they can keep Young healthy,
Yeah, which I don't think for the record, and 10 years from now, I could be a moron for this choice. But I think Bryce Young's going to be one of those guys going to break in the NFL. I just don't think he's big enough.
yeah, I kind of agree with that. With where the NFL's going, he might be the last. I wouldn't have made all that trade capital for any of the quarterbacks in this draft.
No, I think the quarterbacks here are good quarterbacks. I think it's actually one of the better QB draft ones.
I think next year you have two franchise changing quarterbacks, and that's why I wouldn't do anything this year.
Yeah, I think there's 4 legitimate starters, but
We'll see. I liked Anthony Richardson a lot. Originally, I thought he might fall to the Jets in the second round. That was crazy.
yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
So, number 2 is Houston. Houston, this is where I think we might have our first disagreement. I still think they're going quarterback, but they might go deep. I think they want to trade out of here. I think they want to trade out of here and get some stuff, but I see them going with C.J. Stroud.
No, actually, I agree with you. I think C.J. Stroud is. I know there's a lot of talk about him falling a little bit, and I think that's more people trying to get more leverage and try to come up. I don't think they ideally want C.J. Stroud. I think they want Bryce Young, and they're hoping Carolina takes
think
him.
that's why they have.
But I think C.J. Stroud goes too. I think that's a safe bet right there.
And if they make a trade, it won't be until Carolina picks. And if it's not Bryce Young, then they'll stay. If not, they might trade. So for now, we're going to give them C.J. Stroud. Arizona, this is the first team that desperately wants to trade, according to everything. I don't think they can trade out of that spot.
Yeah, and I have an interesting choice here.
I think the Colts will be one of the teams that trade up. I don't think they're going to give up a lot to go to 3. And I don't think they're worried about some of the other teams giving up a whole bunch to get in front of them.
They got the offensive philosophy changed a little bit. I think they're going to go defense, though. I think they take Will Anderson.
You think it's Will Anderson?
Yeah, I think they want that pass rush. They want to change what they're known for.
Yeah, I could buy that. I'll slot that in.
Pressure.
Now the Colts, I think, are the first team that could jack stuff up because their owner's a little out there, right? I could see him taking a defensive player here and then going after Lamar Jackson because it's on turf, it's indoors, it makes Lamar Jackson that more deadly. He doesn't care what other owners think of him.
I think they're one of the teams that are going with the philosophy that you said and just don't want to admit it. I think they're going to go after a quarterback next year. I'm thinking they're expecting to be bad. I have them taking the cornerback. I think is Christian Gonzalez.
So it's Christian Gonzalez
from Oregon.
There's another one. Christian Gonzalez, the top rated corner did it. So
yeah. So the Oregon cornerback Christian Gonzalez is who I think. Who do you have them taking?
I think that makes sense. If they're not drafting a quarterback, I think Will Levis here has a chance to go there. But I think they're gonna wait and give up 2 first-round picks after this draft, thinking they won't be there again.
Yeah.
So quarterback, I think Gonzalez is safe. Like he's the top-rated cornerback after what Sauce did last year.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be in. You look at their division.
Well, AFC, you need cornerbacks because everyone has a quarterback.
Yeah, and I just think they're going to try to solidify that, and I don't think they necessarily want to win this year.
All right, so don't want to win. Yeah,
let's be honest. If
you need a game changer quarterback.
There's certain organizations that believe in just tearing it completely down. It's not the Jets. We just suck every year for the hell of it, but we're going to win next year.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Again, I think the Colts will go into that mindset of if we sign Lamar, great, we're good. If Baltimore matches, okay, we lose another year. We don't really have a quarterback. Right. Seattle, this to me is where Jalen Carter goes, or because it's Pete Carroll, Bijan Robinson. They lost one of their backs. I know that's so he's such a good player. I know running backs don't matter anymore, but this is Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick tree type thing where they love running backs.
And this would be the first one I would say I absolutely expect them to trade down. But I think they take an offensive lineman.
No, they drafted 2 last year.
They did.
Their offensive line. They're going defense or running back. So I'm willing to see the defense. So you have Jalen Carter or Tyree Wilson would be the top 2. Or who's the other cornerback? There's another cornerback that's out there.
Devon Witherspoon. No, I mean, I'd imagine at this point it's got to be Jalen Carter. I know he fell to some because of the
I think Pete Carroll thinks his inside juice.
Yeah, their culture.
The culture.
The culture in Seattle.
The culture in Seattle could take care of anything he has.
And I think it'll help just to get away from his area.
There's not much to get in trouble up in the Great Northwest.
Yeah, it's hard to street race when you're in the rain all the time.
Now, here comes Detroit. Detroit, I have no clue what they're doing. They signed a cornerback. They traded a cornerback. They have Jared Goff, which they say they're happy with. He had a good year for them. He's cost a lot of money.
He's fairly young still. So again, I go offensive tackle, and I think it's got to be who? Paris
Johnson Jr.
Yeah.
State. Yeah. So when we agree on a position, we're just gonna take the highest ranked guy according to the software. Not like I watched tape with these guys. All right, the Raiders are
they're taking a quarterback, and I think
poor Jimmy G. Like,
and I think
first he comes in, he's behind Tom Brady.
Yeah,
and then the coach loves him, and then they trade him, and then that team goes and gets a second round number 3 pick. Yeah, I know, I agree. And then he's gonna sign with the Raiders, and they're gonna do the same.
Well, and I think there's debate on it. I actually think they're gonna take Anthony Richardson, but just because they think they're gonna be able to mold him for a couple of years, which is what he needs.
Well, either one, Levis or Richardson.
I think it should be Levis, but I think they'll take Richardson.
Well, Richardson's ranked higher according to our rules of what we're doing.
Right, we'll agree with Richardson.
All right. I'll try to post the results later in our comments, and we'll see what you guys think. All right, moving along. Next up,
Atlanta's the hard one.
Atlanta Falcons. They don't have a quarterback. Ritter's not whatever his name is.
They need some pass rush too, but they need a quarterback. This would be a good spot for.
They need everything.
This would be a good spot for Levis, right?
He went to Kentucky.
They got a good tight end.
Do they want a quarterback, though? Are they trying to win? They signed Calais, but I don't... Let's give him Tyree Wilson. Let's give him the hedge guy.
All right.
I don't know. No clue what the Falcons are doing. They might be one of the teams to trade up, trade down. I honestly don't know why they say they're happy at quarterback when their quarterback they have on a team isn't good.
Yeah. I mean, we'll
in a division that's very winnable.
We'll go with the edge rusher because that makes a lot of sense anyway, and they're hard to read.
At least Chicago's not going quarterback.
I think they take the running back. I think this is where Bijan Robinson goes. I think they surprise a lot of people.
They got a running back.
They do, but you get a star running back with Justin Fields.
Chicago loves defense, man. They signed 2 linebackers. I think they're either going to protect Fields. I mean, getting him a weapon, I guess, would be Robinson. But they're talking about Robinson's going to fall into the 20s.
Yeah, I mean, so
they don't have a spot for him to go. So Chicago,
or they could take the wide receiver, but they have a few wide receivers now. They've picked them up in trades and things of that nature.
Want to go offensive tackle, protect Fields?
Yeah, we can go offensive tackle.
I mean, I'm hoping that doesn't happen, and I think no one should sign any offensive tackles to pick. 13.
So my gut tells me Robinson, but we'll go with tackle.
So Philly. This is where I think Robinson goes. They lost their running back.
Yeah, that makes perfect. If Robinson doesn't go to Chicago, he's going to Philly.
I agree. Tennessee, I think this is easy. I think they go wide receiver. They
have to try to replace A.J. Brown.
They lost A.J. Brown.
But they do have the young quarterback from last year because I know Tannehill's all but gone.
They wouldn't play one of them so they played another guy that was like a journeyman young quarterback.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to take another young quarterback to this early.
Oh, no, I don't think so either.
Now, if Anthony Richardson was still available, maybe. But I don't think they take Levis Or Levis.
I didn't know that. He's not Levi's. He's not jeans.
Levi's, whatever.
Yeah, that's why I was calling.
I should know that. I feel like I'm slipping on my knowledge over the years. I think
they have to go wide receiver here.
Yeah, they do, and that's got to be. Oh God, who is it? Jackson from Ohio State.
Yeah, Jackson Smith. I don't want to say his last name. I don't want to mess it up.
Houston's back.
Houston is back. They already took a quarterback, right? We have them taking C.J. Stroud, so obviously they're not taking Levis.
So they got to take defense here.
Defense or offensive tackle? I think defense. I think that makes more sense. Cornerback.
This would be interesting. Do we have the first safety Houston off the board?
Ryan Branch all the way down there.
Yeah, it'd be a reach.
I would take the cornerback first.
Yeah, all right. So we'll go cornerback. I mean, I figure secondary help.
So Witherspoon here. Now our Jets are up, and I want them here to take Peter Skoronski, the Northwestern guy.
Yeah,
because he can play tackle, and if Becton and Brown are both healthy, he can also play guard. So if that Tomlinson doesn't have a good year,
I completely agree with you. I mean, we all know, every Jet fan that watches it knows the offensive line's been in shambles the last couple of years. And I'm one of the few who thinks Becton's going to have a great year. I really do. He looks like he's in great shape.
I don't want to lie.
Fluke injuries.
That's why I want to take the guy that can also play guard. Because if Becton is fine, and then he can slide
you have to have the flexibility, but
right.
And especially Brown's old. He's tough as nails, but he's a little old. So I think that's a great pick.
And with Becton's knees, you kind of want to move him off the left tackle anyway, so the pressure. I was reading about this. I have knowledge. It will be off his repair knee. Won't be as much pressure on left tackle as
and I think if for some reason that the Georgia defensive tackle had fallen, then that would have been fantastic. Or a few of these players have fallen, but where we are now, taking the offensive tackles.
So here's one thing interesting here, because it's the Jets. We're gonna spend a little more time here. Love you guys. This is where I can see a 3-team trade comes in: Green Bay, Tampa, Jets. Tampa wants a quarterback. They have Baker Mayfield. Will Levis is there. They trade up. We swap down with them. The extra picks we get, one of them goes to Green Bay for that Rodgers deal. So one of the seconds this year, and then one of the extra picks that Tampa Bay gives us to move back.
Which is entirely possible. And obviously who we take could be shifting greatly depending on what we give up for Rodgers. Because I think in the second round we have to target a center.
Right, we got the 2 picks, so one of them.
And then we really got to focus on defense. So it's got to start with protecting the quarterback. Doesn't matter who your quarterback is. If you can't protect them, even Aaron Rodgers, you have to be able to protect them. Now, if somehow we could get that offensive lineman from Green Bay with Rodgers, that would completely shift it.
But he's not happy about it.
His dead cap, if they trade him, is
Green Bay's not going to trade him. But
the dead cap just makes it so it doesn't make sense for them. So I'd say it's got to be the offensive lineman here.
So Washington's at 16. I can see them trading up for a quarterback if one falls there. And Tampa Bay's at 19. I can see one of them doing it.
Absolutely.
And I can see a 3-team swap going there. However, we're going to take Peter for the sense of this mock draft coming here. And sorry, Green Bay fans, you're not getting pick 13 for Aaron Rodgers.
Not going to
stop it. Oh, and by the way, good luck if you have him. It's the first game that Love has a bad game, which he will. This isn't far up to Rodgers, even Rodgers' first year. He struggled some. He's not going to come in and be immediately great if he's great at all, ever. The first game he struggles, if Rodgers is not on another team,
oh God,
the fans who hate him will hold off for 2 games.
He's not playing a snap.
But can you imagine you're the wide receivers there, you're the offensive line, and you're just losing games like just last year with Zach Wilson. You're just losing games, and you have Aaron Rodgers sitting at home who should be on a team. It's going to be a split locker room whole season go for 2 years, by the way. 2 years, because there's no way Aaron Rodgers is retiring for Green Bay if they refuse to trade him.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those situations where
I could give hours.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be a Jet, and if he's not a Jet, he's going to retire.
No, he's not going to retire. He's going to be forced to go
home.
He'll
essentially be retired.
Right, and they're talking about, they'll cut him. Okay, well, then he can play with any NFC team he wants. You're not doing it.
Yeah.
And stop with the trade to San Fran. San Fran's not giving up 5
And they're not going to trade it to San Fran.
No, they're not trading it. But San Fran would have to trade up so much of the young talent that they signed to do it.
I mean, the only other team that would make any sense would be Tennessee, and they're not going to do it either.
So now here comes the Patriots.
So the Patriots are going to take a punter.
Take a punter.
They're going to take the worst punter
This is honestly what I think the Patriots should do, and you know this very much.
I hate the Patriots for what is known, so I hope I
You have,
hope they
you
bomb
have
the
a.
draft.
This is what they should do. They have a quarterback here.
Oh, they should take Levis.
They should take Levis because Mac Jones is terrible.
He's better than you give him credit for, but he's terrible.
He's terrible. Stop. If he was on any other team, he'd
well,
be
if he
worse.
was on any other team, we wouldn't know every play every time. So
Right, so he'd be that much worse.
Yeah, probably.
And I've seen so many dropped passes. I mean, dropped interceptions.
But he is accurate.
He's accurate to open guys, yes.
He's just accurate.
To open guys, yes.
He's accurate to anyone within 10 yards. He's accurate.
When you know where the defender is.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So, are we giving him a quarterback here? Yeah, I'm giving him a quarterback.
No. We can't give him someone good. Even in a fake world, we just can't do that.
So, hang on. Who's the next running back available?
No, give
him.
him.
No. Hang on. I know what we should do. We're going to give him the top tight end. Dalton Kincaid.
There you go.
Which, by the way, Fox had the Jets taken and pick 13.
It's actually not a bad tight end, but
yeah, he's trying to redo that whole Aaron.
That is a reach. So
not realizing how good Gronk just was.
I'm okay with the Patriots reaching, and I know it messes up everything, and we lose all credibility. But we don't care. We hate the Patriots.
We're telling you right now why this is happening.
Yeah.
And he's terrible at drafting offense.
Now, it'd be funny if we got right. I'm just saying.
That would be.
All right, then you have Green Bay.
Can I give Green Bay the safety?
Yeah, Green Bay taking the safety is out.
I don't like right now either because they're being pains. So they get a safety because they suck.
Right. At this point, Washington has to take Levis, right?
I
know they
by the way,
semi
did you know
like their
that
quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers has never thrown a touchdown. He's never played with a first round draft pick. Wide receiver.
Really? No, I didn't.
Never in his career.
Devontae Adams was a first round.
No, he was like a 5th round draft pick.
Ah.
They've never given him a first round draft pick, a wide receiver.
I guess when you hit with with Devontae Adams so late, it kind of.
But they never draft offense for him.
Well, good.
So Washington, Levis. I mean,
well, we made the smart choice not giving them the top receiver then, unless he's.
No, I don't think they will. They drafted 2 last year, Dobbs and whatever, Watson. So we're giving Commanders Levis.
Yeah, he's got to go there.
That's another team I can see. I don't know why they're not going after Lamar Jackson. I'm not. I mean, I know I'm bigger on Lamar than you are, but you don't have anything.
No, see, I think most of these teams aren't going after Lamar. I think it's more in the guaranteed money. I think they all think he wants to play for Baltimore, and that Baltimore is going to match any offer, and they want these teams to come up with the terms for them.
I mean, that's possible, but I also think there's going to be more teams after this draft. Because then you're giving up 2 future picks, and you're thinking, instead of being a top 15 pick, we're going to be in a lower round.
No.
Like, I would give up like pick 28 and pick 29 back-to-back years for a franchise quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So I think that's what teams are going to do. So Pittsburgh,
it's got to be Nolan Smith. As much as I hate, I'm not a big Pittsburgh fan, but they love drafting defense. He's a great pass rusher. He fits that kind of mold.
Well, if we're going edge, there's an edge guy ranked higher than Nolan Smith. Miles Murphy from Clemson.
I mean, we could go
with same position.
Yeah, we'll go with Miles Murphy. I personally think Nolan Smith, but same thing, edge.
Detroit, I don't know anything about Detroit. What are they doing? Here it's Nolan Smith or Darrell Wright, I think.
If Nolan Smith wasn't going to Pittsburgh, I think he's going to end up in this spot whether they trade. I know they got a premium edge rusher last year, so they don't necessarily need him.
Yeah.
And they actually have 2 good ends, but they don't necessarily need him. But I think the value's there, so I think they'll take him.
I think so. I think with the division of the quarterbacks not as good.
Right.
So Tampa Bay.
So they're interesting because I would have had them taking a quarterback if one fell. But there's such reboot.
This is where I thought Bijan. If the Eagles don't take Bijan, I could see him falling here.
See, I was thinking that they're going to try to go Jordan Addison here. I know it doesn't make a ton of sense because they got Evans on the other side, but I think it's one of those they're going to try to spread teams out.
So they got Evans. They got the guy that killed my fantasy team that one year.
Because everyone should understand who that is.
I can't remember his name. That's why I said it like that.
I mean, they got 3 or 4.
Who's the number 1 wide receiver?
Evans. You talking about Godwin?
Oh, that's what I was thinking of. Evans. Godwin's the slot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking Evans. Okay. Oh, that's fine. Jordan Addison. They can't keep Evans forever. Or Godwin forever. One of those 2. So back to Seattle. Here they might go. Well, no, they drafted 2 last year.
Who we have them taking the first pick? This is their second pick.
This is the second pick in the first round. They took Jalen Carter.
That's right. So they took the defensive tackle. Now
cornerback. So I don't think they draft offensive tackles. They took 2 last
Well, they
year.
tend to take the cornerbacks late, so it could be an edge rusher.
Oh, I know who we should have taken for Pittsburgh. It's too late now. Joey Porter Jr.
That would make a lot of sense, but
You want to give him Luke Van Ness, the edge, or
I would say the edge.
the edge?
Edge rusher.
I'm just making this up. We don't know about the teams. Chargers, offensive tackle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. They're all right, by the way. He's coming off the boards. I don't know why. He used to be a second round pick all the time. When I used to do this, he used to be there in the second round. Baltimore.
Now, if they haven't signed, they might draft a quarterback for leverage. And they did just get Beckham, so I don't think it's going to be a wide receiver.
Quentin Johnson from TCU.
Oh, that would be a great, yeah.
That would be a good pick for
Yeah,
them.
I agree with that.
Wow. Minnesota.
So Minnesota needs defense.
They've been talking about TJ Hooker.
They need defense.
They need defense.
It's got to be a cornerback.
Corner. Devontae, we'll take the top cornerback.
Banks?
Deontay Banks.
Yeah, that'll work.
Jacksonville.
So Jacksonville, I still think they're trying to foster the offensive line.
Do they have a
For
tight end?
Lawrence. Yeah, they have, is it Ingram or?
Oh, that's right. They do have.
Yeah.
So Michael Myers still out there. So, you have 2 cornerbacks, an edge, and a DT. A couple of DTs coming
But I
up.
think it's going to be an offensive lineman here.
So if we go to the next offensive lineman, it is going to be the Oklahoma tackle. The guard's still too late. Center's still way too early.
And I don't know enough about their team to see if they have an offensive tackle out there, but
Well, we'll take the guy that. Well, the Oklahoma tackle, from my understanding,
Yeah.
can play both right and left. So we'll take him there. Giants. I don't know. They're stupid.
Giants need a corner and an edge rusher, so it could be either one of them.
We'll just give him. I don't want to give him Porter Jr. Let's give him the Notre Dame guy.
All right, there you go.
Sounds like Cowboys. Cowboys also,
that's-
I can see them trading up for Bijan Robinson.
They are everywhere. So the Cowboys are so hard to predict because they want the flash, but like I wouldn't surprise me if they
Did
traded.
sign Jason Witten? He's a Raider now, right?
Yeah, I mean he's
Oh yeah, Michael Meyer from Notre
yeah
Dame.
tight end. Okay,
Michael Meyer. I don't know if that's his name, but Dallas taking
probably the name of the creepy little thing you had behind us in the podcast.
Bills. Well, I don't want to give them anything.
They're just in the division. We don't hate them as much as the Patriots.
Yeah, no, I don't hate them.
But
they're in our division and they keep on winning.
they need some linebacker depth.
Edge,
Maybe a DT.
Will McDowell. They actually need offensive line, but they're not going to take it here. Just nothing.
No.
Just not value, from my understanding here. So I don't know, Joey Porter Jr. cornerback. Or,
That'll work.
Cincinnati to take the top DT.
Why are they just taking the top DT?
I don't know what they need, but the
So
defense looks very
this
good.
is going to be. I honestly think they
Hey.
take a wide receiver.
Eric,
Their wide receivers
Zay-
are going to. They can't pay them all, and they're going to be coming up as free agents soon.
Zay Flowers then would be,
Yeah, I mean,
and he's more of a slot receiver,
yeah,
so that would fit in.
it gives them time to learn the offense and things of that
Let's
nature.
We'll give Joe Burrow more weapons. The Saints have a first round pick. Who knew about that?
Yeah,
You know anything about them?
that they want to lose this year.
Cornerback. The top. I'm not just giving like any guy. Yeah. It's the top prospect left on the board. Ringo from there. Philly and Kansas City. Philly, I think they lost their DT, so Kansas City. I think this is Brees
or Cansey or
I think Breesy.
Yeah.
The Clemson, and then I think
now Kansas City they did lose Juju. Did they replace him?
No, but if you look at the next wide receivers down there, they lost they had to cut Chris Jones. They had to cut one of the defensive players.
It wasn't Jones. It wasn't.
I think they can take receivers anywhere because they have.
Yeah, I mean they could take an edge rusher.
Oh, I have the mouse, so I'm giving them the Pittsburgh DT, who's compared to Aaron Donald because they went to the same school. And they're both freaks.
Fair enough.
So there we go. We got the draft. I'll try to finalize this, put this in the comments.
Well, when the first round is over, or probably when we do our next podcast, we'll have to look. So we'll have to do one after our next regular podcast and see how many picks we got right, both by slot and by team, because trades are going to move things around.
Right.
So we'll see what our percentage is of how many we got right, and we'll have to compare against the experts. So
yes, because the experts
download find Mel Kiper's first round and see if we can get more than him.
Well, let's see how we do first.
Well, that's what I said. See, we're not going to announce that. All right. Well, thank you everyone for going through our first attempt at NFL mock draft.
And ESPN, if you want to hire us, that's fine. Or Fox. First things first. Nick Wright, big fan.
FS1. I'm just saying.
I love that show.
Yeah, I love it.
Even a Patriot fan. Even a Patriot fan. Yeah. What's his name? The white dude. He's the only white dude there. Like, he's obviously the white dude there.
I know who you're talking about. He actually had Nick Wright on his show.
Wiles, yeah.
He had Nick Wright on his show the other day, and the other co-host of that show is a Jets fan. So,
Bruce Artis?
Or maybe I'm thinking a different. I'm thinking a different show.
You're thinking Herd, where Jason McIntyre.
Yeah, the Herd. That's what I was thinking of.
Also awesome.
Yeah, I like the Herd.
Jason
I like
McIntyre
Nick Wright.
So well
I like Shannon Sharp. Listen to him. So.
Shannon Sharp's okay. Skip Bayless,
I hate Skip Bayless.
I don't like that.
Yeah. He's an idiot. Never knows what he's talking about. He's just.
However, Skip, if you want us on the show, absolutely for the.
I will absolutely tell you off on your show.
I won't tell you. I'll go on the show. I will. Whatever it takes. By the way,
apparently you're more of a sellout
anyone famous wants to come on our podcast one time, then we're famous.
Yeah.
And then I have milk bone money. And milk bone money, by the way, is feeding my dogs. Milk bones, all that they can eat. That's my goal.
All right. Well, we're transitioning way out of the fantasy realm, so I hope everyone enjoys the draft. Take in as much as you can.